With their red tunics and bearskin caps, the Grenadier Guards are the most famous soldiers in the world.
You can't see anything like this anywhere in the world except UK.
Changing the guard outside Buckingham Palace, they constantly strive for ceremonial perfection.
Left turn, get out!
Oh, God, I don't believe it.
But they are also frontline soldiers in the world's most dangerous war zones. For the first time, we go behind the scenes at the royal palaces to show how the pride of guarding the Queen and the sacrifice of war combine to create a unique soldier, the Grenadier Guard. Windsor Castle. The Queen is having a party. Tonight, the Grenadier Guards won't be guarding the Queen because she's invited them to celebrate their 350th anniversary. Colonel Carew Hatherley is the commanding officer and the proudest man in the room.
We're carrying on 350 years of serving the monarchy. That's 10 kings and 3 queens. It's part of the living fabric of the nation, and it's very kind of Her Majesty to put on tonight for us. It's going to be a good night, cracking night.
No regiment in the British Army is prouder of its traditions than the Grenadiers. They have been the last line of defence around the monarch for 350 years since the Civil War. This sense of tradition stretches from their colonel, the Duke of Edinburgh, all the way down to the most junior officers.
When you instill someone with a sense of the enormity of the traditions he represents, it can only lift him. Man for man, our guys are better for what they do because they have such an appreciation of what it means, not just to be a soldier serving in the British Army, which is an amazing thing, but to be a Grenadier Guard.
But not every Grenadier is invited to the party.
Get your notebooks out and shut up.
500 miles north, Captain Ollie Doherty is leading a platoon of trainee guardsmen on their final exercise. 6 days battling the enemy and the elements in the Scottish Highlands.
Yes, the weather is grim. Yes, it's going to be misty. Yes, it's going to be wet. Okay, but this is the climax of your course as far as I'm concerned. Stick with it and maintain your battlefield discipline.
Bit of route now, innit? Get like Terminator.
We know that there are enemy further down the bottom. I want you to go in hard. Anything that moves, you destroy.
Go!
Each recruit has made it through nearly 6 months of basic training, hoping to join one of the 5 regiments of foot guards.
I want everyone to consolidate their positions and start regrouping at this location.
Stephen Cooper is one of 13 grenadiers who started the course. At the end of the training, only 4 remain.
For the last 4 nights, I've been sleeping under trees and rain. That colour there is what it's supposed to be, because of all the water that's on it. That's the colour it is.
Because so many people left us make us proud to be quite close to each other now.
How to push your bodies further when you start to feel pain and that.
If they can survive 2 more gruelling days, they'll finally be able to call themselves Grenadier Guards.
No. Tell me a bedtime story.
You want to know a bedtime story? There was once 4 grenadiers in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Beekman, Cooper, Wright and James, and they're all in the same platoon.
Left wheel, pick, march! Halt!
They will join the Grenadiers' ceremonial soldiers, who live in Wellington Barracks in the very heart of London. And wearing the famous bearskins, they will stand guard outside Buckingham Palace. It's a world of drill, royal pomp, and tourism.
The palace is very gorgeous.
It seems like a fairy tale. I think it looks like Disney World for Brits.
And the soundtrack to this experience is provided by another part of the Grenadier family, the legendary band of the Grenadier Guards. No state occasion would be complete without them, and no one is prouder of them than Regimental Adjutant Conway Seymour.
Of all the world's great heroes, there's none that can compare with the ta-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra of the British Grenadiers.
He's been a Grenadier for 42 years. Today, he's welcoming 2 new musicians to the regiment. During their 12 weeks military training, they've learnt to march like soldiers.
2 musicians ordered to attend number 15 company, sir.
Do you know how lucky you are?
Yes, sir.
You do. You are joining the best band in the British Army. And there are standards that you have to maintain. I'm delighted to have you in the band. It's a close-knit and happy body of men and girls. Welcome and good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Musicians, how about turn? Quick march, no, right, left.
Lance Corporal, shut up!
Musician Abby Davis is just the 5th woman to join the band. Her first challenge is to find her room.
Well, I think this is the right staircase, but they all look the same, really. We'll soon find out. Right. Oh, that's a good view. See the palace? It's weird being on like a proper army camp. See all these army vehicles everywhere and I'm not used to seeing them. When I told my friends I was going to join the army, most of them just laughed at me. They didn't think I'd make it, but definitely the music, yeah. I really enjoy it. So I can't wait to get playing.
And soon, Abby joins her first band rehearsal under the watchful eye of Band Sergeant Major Kevin Bird.
I think for any musician that comes into this environment, it's going to be a challenge. When they audition, first of all, they are expected to be of a certain standard. They will go through basic training, then they come to us. So they could be anything for 18 months to 2 years in training before they reach the band.
Before long, Abby will have to combine the playing with the marching, changing the guard outside Buckingham Palace. Catterick Camp, North Yorkshire, the Guards training depot. 6 months ago, 60 trainee guardsmen started basic training here. Now Stephen Cooper and the 32 others that are left have returned from final exercise in Scotland. Tomorrow is their passing out parade.
Just feels like I'm just ending a jail sentence. I'm most pleased probably about my mum coming, because I think it's good that I finally I'm doing something that makes her proud and that, and not disappoint her all the time. Like.
Training guys and Cooper, sir.
And have you got lots of people coming tomorrow?
14 people, sir.
14?
Sir.
Good. If tomorrow doesn't put a smile on her face, then nothing will. Because it'll be a great day. It'll be a glorious sunny day, a bit chilly, but ripe for immaculate young guardsmen. Enjoy yourself tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Are you getting money? What are you
You guys Madden.
You should be extremely proud of what you have achieved. And when you look your section commander and platoon staff in the eye tomorrow, then you want to look them in the eye, shake their hands and say thank you very much for everything you've done for me. Their work has transformed you into the man you are today. You've done bloody well to get this far. I wish you all the best of fortune on operations in 2007. Well done, gentlemen. Good luck.
They may have completed the training, but there's still time for one last rehearsal.
Get across! The reason you lost the step, because of individuals in the centre in here been idle. Get your thighs parallel to the ground, lock your arms in, and listen to the drum. Quick mark! Time! Now! Yeah!
Tomorrow, all eyes will be on them. But the rehearsal hasn't gone well.
The effort there towards the end was good, but at the beginning it was poor. You can't afford to do that standard in household division. We won't accept it in the guards. It's not good enough. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Better.
The trainee guardsmen now have just 16 hours till their passing out parade. In Yorkshire, after 26 weeks of arduous basic training, the day of the passing out parade has arrived. And trainee guardsman Stephen Cooper is getting some help knotting his tie.
In fact, undo it again, just leave it loose, and then I'll do it.
I've never really worn tie. Well, I used to wear a clip-on tie for school.
His family has turned out in force and are overflowing with pride. There's his mum.
No, I was very proud, very proud.
His mum's boyfriend.
Really proud of him, really proud of him, yeah.
Very proud.
His aunt.
Very proud for Stephen for getting through it and doing it.
And his little sister Zoe.
He's okay.
Nervous, are you? Yeah.
Platoon Commander Ollie Doherty still adheres to the traditional belief that a glass of port before an important parade is the best vocal warm-up.
It's absolutely crucial.
For Ollie, it's a proud day. 6 months of effort and his boys are immaculate, unlike him.
Oh, just a last-minute button drama. Simple as that. No problems.
If you go out there thinking, I'm going to show off, I'm going to enjoy this, it will be a cracker, OK? Ignore what happened yesterday on the rehearsal. I would far rather have a bit of a ropey rehearsal and have a cracking parade. And from my experience, a ropey rehearsal equals a cracking parade. We can only go one way from yesterday.
I was crying. I went to pieces, actually. Didn't think the army would take him because he was a bit of a wild child. Yeah, he was sort of starting to drift the wrong way at one point, but I knew he'd do it. It's changed a lot. He's matured. He's become a man.
In just 2 weeks, Stephen and the other new recruits will come to London, but new band member Abby is a step ahead of them. Today's the day for her to do her first guard change outside Buckingham Palace.
Oh dear. Maybe I should wear a thin sock on this one and a thick sock on that one. My feet, this fit's bigger than that foot.
Oh really? Yeah.
It's time for her to play her instrument in front of a big crowd, whilst marching and wearing a bearskin. It's a job that comes with its own unique set of potential hazards.
You need to see where you're going, and not only that, you need to be able to read your music. Dropping your music, losing your mouthpiece. The standing around part, she's got to stand around for quite a time. The whole thing from start to finish, we're looking at around about 2 hours.
Thank you.
It may be Abby's first changing of the guard today, but for the company commander, it will be the last. For the last 14 months, Major Marcus Elliot Square has commanded his ceremonial company. And when the Grenadiers are on guard, that means he can enjoy the splendid officers' mess in St. James's Palace. But it's taking its toll.
It used to be Eggs Benedict, but time moves on. And as you get older, you can't really afford to eat Eggs Benedict every morning. It's not good for the body. Boiled eggs on toast with Tabasco.
Marcus is about to swap ceremonial duties for a much tougher assignment in Afghanistan. Today's the last time he will lead the changing of the guard.
It's one of those fishbowl moments where everyone from the civilian world looks in and sees the British Army and something that's quintessential, it's quintessentially British.
But there's a chance they won't get to see it this morning. It's raining, and there's nothing the band hates more than rain.
Clarinets, for example, the pads are going to swell up, and an overhaul's about 150 to 100 pounds per instrument, so we don't want to be in that situation this morning.
The decision will be made in the next 20 minutes as to whether we go ahead with the full all singing, all dancing changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace.
The tourists, the guardsmen, Abby and the band, and even Marcus are all waiting for a decision that rests with the oncoming Guards regiment.
It's getting heavier.
Decision made. A little shower is not going to rain on Marcus's final parade. And Abby gets to make her debut. After 24 hours on guard, Marcus proudly leads his grenadiers onto the palace forecourt to hand over the guard for the very last time. For the last time, he bellows his orders. And then they're off. Around St. James's Park, back to the barracks, and out of the rain. Leaving the tourists bedraggled, but happy.
Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been pleasant today, but one can't complain.
How was it? I've got pins and needles. Nearly fell over once. Did you? I slipped, my foot just on the lap. Yeah, it's nearly wet out. It is a bit kind of slippery, but...
Okay, so you've done it now?
Yeah.
So do you feel glad that you... Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Glad we did it.
Yeah, last one for a while. Unless it's going to be part of our job to teach the Afghan army how to do a Queen's Guard, in which case I'll be more than able. But I don't think we'll be getting to that. There will be numerous phone calls being made at the moment, no doubt, to the brigade major and to the directors of music complaining about the fact that they've had to play in the rain. But no one died.
Within 12 weeks, Marcus will be in Afghanistan, and Wellington Barracks a distant memory. After passing out, new guardsman Stephen Cooper is on leave at home in the Midlands.
This is the room where I stick all the pictures and that.
He come home with one picture and then it sort of accumulated, so this is his grenadier room, as he says.
6 months basic training has transformed him into a proud grenadier.
Got that one. Tells you a bit about all the grenadiers. I've got my oath of allegiance up there as well, where the moment I signed my life away. And that's my platoon photograph, and there's me.
He's just days away from guarding the Queen, but he used to be just another lad getting into bother with the police.
I used to get into loads of trouble, getting fights downtown because people like, annoying me. I always used to get into trouble like, because of my anger and that. But I've settled, I've calmed down a lot now.
I've had a few problems in life, haven't we? I've been married, divorced, a few problems. You've seen a bit of violence, haven't you?
Yeah.
We ended up in family therapy at one point because he did take on the violence, literally.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
No. But no, that's just it. You've pulled yourself up.
Yeah.
And you said yourself you had a bad temper, and he did have a very short fuse on him. But he's learned to control that. It's your determination, really. Because if you didn't want to do it, he definitely wouldn't have done it. Because he's that stubborn.
Stephen's determination is about to take him to London, to the very heart of British ceremonial life. Also joining the company is his new boss, Major Torald Youngman Sullivan, who's just returned from Iraq. The officers' mess in St James's Palace is a world away from what Stephen Cooper can expect to find when he gets here.
Everywhere you turn there are bits of tradition and history and little touches, every bit of silver that you look at. This is supposed to be one of Napoleon's charger's hooves, Marengo's hoof. It's used as a snuff vessel holder at the moment, but everywhere you look, this was presented by, let me see, Royal Marines of Duke of York and Albany's Maritime Regiment of Foot. I am responsible for the Queen's Guard. I have a detachment and an officer in charge in the Tower of London. I have a detachment and an officer based here in St James's, and a detachment and an officer based in Buckingham Palace. But I enjoy Windsor Castle, to be honest with you. For 48 hours, we will provide the security, both ceremonial and non-ceremonial, in conjunction with the police for all three palaces. Whilst we're on guard, we are very, very well looked after here, but we're not allowed out. All women have to be out of St James's Palace by 8 o'clock. So you can entertain, but you can't go anywhere.
While Torald enjoys his gilded cage, the 4 new guardsmen have to report to their London barracks. For these lads, it's a whole new world.
Flipping hell, there's quite a lot of people around here, isn't there? Oh, is that your town square then, yeah? What the hell's that building? I want to see something that's got prices on the window or something. What's that? Ah, there we go.
Oh, right. What's that?
Steak and ale pie, £7.45.
What?
Sausages and mash, £6.75. Fish and chips, £7.
This is the room that the 4 of them will share while in Wellington Barracks. The last occupants haven't done them any favours.
How was all this? Oh, it's moss, man. Can I have that back? Oh, yeah, it's a good room. I like it.
Next morning, it's a quick guided tour of the barracks from their platoon sergeant.
Officers' mess to our right, to the science mess, OK. Guard room, gymnasium, medical and dental centre. Do you know where we are now? Questions? Quite happy. Good, off you go.
But the most daunting prospect of their first morning will be meeting their new bosses, Major Torald Youngman Sullivan and Company Sergeant Major Steve Munro.
We're good to go, sir.
Right. 4 guardsmen, ordered to attend, sir.
Guardsmen, quick, march! No!
From now on, military precision will be of paramount importance.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out here now, get out! 4 guardsmen, ordered to attend, sir. Guards, very quick. March! No, yeah, mark. Time. No, yeah, guardsmen. Hop! Left turn. Get out! Get out! You embarrassing me. Get out!
4 guardsmen, ordered to attend, sir.
Guards, very quick. March! No, mark! Time! Third man back, get in step. Guardsman. Halt! Left turn!
Thank you, Compts Major.
Sir.
Welcome to Nijmegen Company. I expect you to keep yourselves fit. I expect your turnout to be immaculate, as well as your behaviour at all times. You're all young guys, and we expect a lot from you. You are a guardsman now. There is no turning the tap off. You are always in the British Army, 24/7. Welcome to the Grenadier family. It's a fantastic family to be in, and I look forward to getting to know you over the coming months. Compts Major, march out.
Sir. Guardsman, left turn! Quick march! No, yeah.
Oh, hell. Monkeys.
While the band and 120 grenadiers put on a show for the tourists in front of Buckingham Palace, the remaining 600 men of the regiment look ahead to their next mission, which will take them to Afghanistan.
Right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Grenadier Guards Battle Group Plan. 4 months is not a long time for us to get ready for what promises to be a pretty crunchy and emotional tour out there. So, very quickly...
Colonel Carew Hatherley is the commanding officer. His men have just returned from Iraq, and now, in the quickest turnaround the British infantry has yet attempted, he's got just 4 months to prepare them to fight the Taliban in the most dangerous corner of Afghanistan.
We'll train the Afghan National Army 3rd Brigade. This is what we expect to do, a Brit helping an Afghan to do the warfighting bit. But in extremis, you all need to be prepared to also do that. Where the Afghans are now watching, the Brit do the warfighting bit.
They try to make the training as realistic as possible.
Get a block in.
But the English weather doesn't help.
We're going to be in a barren desert land or whatever, and we're here amongst the trees of Norfolk in December. So you couldn't get much more different if you tried hard, really.
To make their training relevant to their role in Afghanistan, they brought in some genuine Afghans to help them learn how to fight using interpreters.
Right, you tell him where the enemy is. Go on then, sir. Can you tell him where the enemy is?
Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Is this the general?
The Afghans also help the Grenadiers iron out any language or cultural problems that might crop up.
We'll be teaching the AK-47.
The training ranges from the technical to the diplomatic.
It's very important that we speak to the higher ranks.
Yep, he's on his way.
Please don't make us wait too long.
Perhaps if he could command from slightly further back, he's the most important man here. Man of his importance. If I could just make a suggestion. Just want to watch him that he doesn't deviate and do his own thing.
After a year of guarding Buckingham Palace and all the fine dining that goes with it, Marcus Elliot Square has a new challenge on his plate.
You've been tasked forward to clear the area of any suspected Taliban.
He's joined the Grenadiers, preparing for Afghanistan on exercise in Northumberland. Soon he'll be fighting for real, but already he's finding the going tough.
It's certainly been a bit of a shock to the system. My wife has said that I've been far too pampered in Nijmegen Company, and coming back to battalion has been more of a shock to the system than I previously imagined it would be. Obviously, as you can hear, I've got a bit of a cold.
Marcus is leading his platoon on an assault across open ground. The exercise has to be as realistic as possible. That means using real bullets. The assault begins. Everyone is firing live ammunition. Everyone, that is, except Marcus, whose rifle has jammed.
Sir! Yourself and Toto! Peel right onto the end!
While Marcus struggles to get his weapon working, his platoon sergeant takes over.
Okay, come Jordan!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Once the grenade's gone off, I'm going to engage that target there.
The assault over, Marcus catches up with his men.
It's hard work. Very hard. I hope you're getting the full angle of this hill. Slightly harder going up and coming down.
He may be feeling a little puffed, but this evening he has to lead his entire company on a much more dangerous night assault and keep them clear of the lethal firepower of tanks and aircraft.
That was hard.
It's been a tough day, and it's going to be an even tougher night. The band, too, is being put to the test. Today they face their annual examination from the Army Corps of Music.
I haven't seen the Director of Staff arrive yet.
And Band Sergeant Major Kevin Bird has some last-minute pointers.
Good, confident start. Don't overblow in the first two ranks.
The inspection will put them under the steely gaze of Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Smith, the Army's Principal Director of Music. If he's not happy, they won't be deemed fit for role, and that would be the height of embarrassment for the band. Conway Seymour looks on from his office, anxious that his band does itself justice.
When our band strike up, it is a really stirring feeling. Everybody grows 6 inches in height because you immediately, shoulders back, head up, neck in the back of the collar. I defy any grenadier not to feel proud.
But the band's repertoire has to reach far beyond marching music. Next up is the classical orchestra section. So far, not a flicker of a smile from Lieutenant Colonel Smith. Then there's the big band section. Still no hint from the Colonel. And finally, the dance band. At last, a smile, and Band Sergeant Major Kevin Bird seems confident.
The ensemble has come together, and we've produced some great sounds today, so I'm really pleased.
Oh, good.
And when the inspection report arrives, Conway Seymour is once again the proudest man in Wellington Barracks.
I have to say it is the most wonderful report. It says the band of the Grenadier Guards is deemed fully fit for role.
With the band judged fit to carry on with their ceremonial duties, the new recruits are preparing to guard the Queen for the first time. And for that, they'll need a bearskin.
Just to let you know, these are expensive. Do not use them as footballs.
Although the bearskins are black, it actually starts off life as a brown bear, which are actually culled in Canada as a form of pest control. The reason why we wear the bearskin cap is through the Battle of Waterloo, where the First Foot Guards defeated the French Imperial Guard, and as they murdered them, as they killed them, they actually then stole the bearskin cap.
Then there's the jacket. In the summer, it will be the famous scarlet tunics, but in winter, they wear grey greatcoats. The whole outfit costs over £2,000 per man.
Makes you feel like you're finally a guard.
Next, they take their first clumsy steps towards mounting guard outside the palace. But there's a lot to learn. With so many men in training for Afghanistan, the Grenadiers Ceremonial Company is at full stretch, so the new recruits will have to learn fast.
New guard! Touch!
Company Sergeant Major Steve Munro has just 7 days to knock them into shape before they take their place in front of thousands of spectators for the changing of the guard.
Dressing's awful! The dressing's awful! You're not concentrating and you're not doing what you should
Steve
be
is a
doing.
legend on the drill square, but he's also a sergeant major with a guilty secret.
I hate drill with a passion. I absolutely hate it.
You're not going to get away with that by any stretch of the imagination.
But what you can never do is let the blokes know that you don't like it. And so as far as they're concerned, I sleep in drill kit and I can't get enough, but I'm close to a coma.
When I say stop, you then retake your dressing an arm's distance from the right.
I like Leo Sayer more than drill.
Have you got a free ticket to McDonald's? Well, get back.
You've got to be stone-faced. Never let them know just how much you'd hate it.
It was bad, but that was to be expected.
They just chucked us on the drill square and told us to do it all, and we was like, oh, what's going on, what's going on?
The time has come for Major Marcus Elliott Square to face his toughest test yet. He has to lead his company in a night assault using live ammunition. The rest of the regiment's been preparing for this since last year, but Marcus has only just rejoined them after his stint as a ceremonial soldier.
It's pretty exciting, but again, not without its hazards. I will then wait for...
With deployment to Afghanistan fast approaching, he's got to get up to speed quickly. It's cold, it's dark, and he's being closely watched by his boss, the colonel.
Corny, I'll see you. Roger out. I'll brief him on that now. He knows all his blokes are cold. They're a little bit tired from having been fighting all the way through the day.
And bring yourself round online, all right, and hold.
He's got loads of information coming in, and he's got to sift it almost instantaneously, find out what's relevant for him, and then act on it.
Going to move up about another 50 metres or so up this way.
You've got to make the best possible speed in order to...
Marcus orders his men forward.
They're pushing up to the left-hand side, it's about 500 metres, so it's pretty hard going for them. They've got to be as quiet as possible.
Get eyes on from the top of this ridge.
When the company commander gives them the cue, the fire support will all open up.
That's the cue, and in they go with tracer bullets flying just above their heads.
Yeah, position taken, all enemy are dead. Any casualties, Delta? None that we know of. Taken all enemy are dead.
Marcus did really well tonight, really impressive. I didn't have to get in there at all and say, come on, let's get a move on, get up there. And I'm happy. I don't need to drive them anymore. They're driving themselves quite nicely now.
It's been a good exercise for Marcus and his men, but in just 6 weeks, the bullets will be flying in both directions. The time has come for Stephen Cooper and the other new recruits to finally take their place on guard outside Buckingham Palace.
I'm just trying to straighten out the kink, because I've got a kink in my curve change. So I've been told the way how to do it is to like wrap it up in a towel and smack it hard. Ah!
Zoe, come on! Zoe!
Stephen Cooper's mum and little sister Zoe have travelled down for the big day.
Didn't get much sleep last night.
No way.
And for Stephen, it's a bad start. His trousers, known as tweeds, are in danger of falling down.
I mean, the buttons in my tweeds are missing that my braces are going, and I didn't even realise it until this morning.
Oh, smart. Looks like a toy soldier. Don't you?
No.
You've got to stay with me. No, you've got to stay with me. Yeah, well, you can see Stephen in a bit.
I think they'll probably be a little bit nervous. It's quite windy out there as well, which has another dimension to whether your bearskin cap's going to blow off or not. So there'll be a lot of things for them to think about. I think they'll probably be feeling overall a bit like a rabbit caught in headlights.
Guardsmen changed the Buckingham Palace attachment of the Queen's Guard, sir! Guardsmen Buckingham Palace attachment of the Queen's Guard, sir!
Guardsmen Cooper St James Palace attachment of the Queen's Guard, sir!
Right, your tweeds. Those are your tweeds, are they?
Sir.
Are you wearing braces?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Why are you not wearing braces?
The buttons snapped off this morning, sir.
And? You've just come off the square for over an hour. What's your name?
Cooper, sir.
Guardsman Cooper, bad order, sir.
Guardsman Cooper, bad order, sir.
Guardsman Cooper, bad order, sir.
Changing the guard at Buckingham Palace always attracts the tourists. And it falls to the band to entertain them while they wait for the ceremony to begin. It's a special day for Stephen, but the drum major is pulling out all the stops for a different reason.
Standing next to me today is Drum Major State, wearing his state clothing. The reason he's wearing his state clothing is because it's the Countess of Wessex's birthday, and on all royal birthdays and accessions, the drum majors wear their state clothing.
One of the best orders of dress in the British Army.
Stephen Cooper may have trouble with his tweeds, but this won't stop him mounting his first Queen's Guard. The tourists may not have a clue what it all means, but changing the guard is the most polished and practiced military ritual in the British Army. Every order, every step has been refined over centuries by thousands of guardsmen, guarding the royal palaces since 1660. It is an elaborate show of strength and discipline, but what's going on is very simple. One set of guardsmen have marched from their barracks to replace another in the famous sentry boxes outside the palace.
See if you can spot Stephen. Have a really, really good look. I just hope he's taking it all in and this is what he's wanting to do. I hope he's feeling as proud as I am of him. Knowing Stephen, he'll probably be thinking, I'm bored now, let me get some action.
The new recruits are going straight on sentry duty. Every 15 minutes for the next 2 hours, they will march 10 yards, turn around, and come back again. Apart from that, they just have to stand still. But Stephen Cooper's debut won't take place at Buckingham Palace. Instead, he joins a small detachment that heads down the Mall to St James's Palace, where he will form part of the security for Prince Charles and Princes William and Harry.
Centuries past!
It's the one guard post that is completely open to close-up public scrutiny, and that includes his mum and little sister Zoe.
It's awful. I should be crying. I should be happy for him. It's not my son under there. I can't even go up and hug him, can I? Stephen, smile for your grandma. It's gonna kill me.
Next time, the Grenadiers pull out all the stops for a VIP guest. The march to war gathers pace, and Conway Seymour bids farewell to his beloved regiment.